sleep. I am young Homer, here to guide you into another chapter of the rise and fall of Zeus. Tonight, we continue Series 7, Worst Enemies and Greatest Threats, with Episode 59, Sisyphus, the mortal who tricked death. In this tale, we follow Sisyphus, a cunning mortal king who dares to outwit even the gods, defying death not once, but twice. Known for his cleverness and daring, Sisyphus manages to cheat Hades himself, delaying his fate and escaping the underworld through tricks and deceit. But such defiance comes at a price, and for his insolence, Zeus sentences him to an eternal punishment, a task both endless and impossible. This is the story of wit, defiance, and the inescapable weight of fate. As we enter this tale of cleverness and consequence, allow yourself to settle deeply into the comfort of your bed, feeling safe, supported, and fully at rest. Close your eyes if you wish, and take a slow, deep breath in, letting calm spread through your chest, as steady as the rise and fall of a distant mountain. As you exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing your body to grow heavy, sinking into stillness. This is your time to rest, to let go, and to find peace. Now focus on the gentle rhythm of your breath. Each inhale and exhale as constant as the quiet rhythm of time itself. Take a slightly deeper breath in, letting it fill you completely, and hold it softly for a moment. Then, as you exhale, imagine any tightness melting away, leaving only warmth and comfort. One more time. Breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, feel yourself sinking further, as calm and unyielding as stone. Now, let's guide each part of the body to soften, inviting rest with each breath. Start with your forehead, allowing it to relax completely as you exhale. Move to your jaw, releasing any tension, letting it rest gently. Now, bring awareness to your shoulders. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, let them fall softly, like stones rolling gently down a hillside. Allow your arms and hands to grow heavy, resting peacefully by your sides. Notice the steady rise and fall in your chest and belly, inhaling as your belly rises, and on the exhale, releasing any last bits of tightness, feeling light and free. Shift your focus to your hips and thighs, letting them sink deeper into the bed, fully supported and relaxed. And finally, bring attention to your calves, feet, and toes, allowing them to release completely, grounded and serene. Now imagine yourself on a high, rocky mountainside where the air is still, and a solitary figure stands beneath the open sky. In the distance, you see Sisyphus, his form small but unbroken as he struggles to push a massive stone up the steep incline. The boulder teeters, almost reaching the summit, only to roll back down, an endless task that he faces with the same resilience day after day. With each breath, feel yourself surrounded by this quiet strength, as though you too stand beside him, witnessing a struggle both timeless and unyielding. Inhale deeply, letting the calm and determination of the scene fill you. And exhale, feeling grounded, steady, and fully at ease. With your body relaxed and your mind open, allow the story to guide you into this world of defiance, resilience, and eternal resolve, where even in endless struggle, the human spirit endures. Take one last deep breath in and let it out softly. Now, let us begin. Sisyphus was no ordinary mortal. As the founding king of Corinth, he was revered for his intelligence, charm, and cunning. But Sisyphus's virtues were often overshadowed by his deceitful nature, a trait that made him both feared and loathed. To him, power was a game of wit, and he saw himself as its master. He believed that his sharp mind gave him an edge over everyone, even the gods who ruled Olympus. Though he respected the gods in appearance, Sisyphus privately regarded them with disdain. Where mortals saw divine rulers, Sisyphus saw only obstacles, beings to be outwitted if they dared interfere in his plans. This arrogance led him down a path that would ultimately seal his fate, sparking a series of events that would etch his name into infamy and bring him face to face with Zeus's judgment. Sisyphus's first offense against Olympus began with a simple betrayal. In his quest for power, he learned a secret about Zeus's affair with the river god Aesopus's daughter, Aegina. Ever the opportunist, Sisyphus saw in this knowledge an opportunity to negotiate favor and protection from Aesopus. In exchange for revealing Zeus's indiscretion, Sisyphus hoped to gain influence over a powerful ally. Zeus, however, was not one to tolerate betrayal lightly. He felt the sting of Sisyphus's insolence and saw this mortal's arrogance as a challenge to his authority. Though he let the offense pass for the moment, Zeus's patience with Sisyphus was already beginning to wear thin. Sisyphus's act had shown him to be a man who respected nothing, not even the divine power of Olympus. And Zeus knew that this defiance would not go unanswered for long. It wasn't long before Sisyphus crossed another line. When his time to die finally came, Zeus sent Thanatos, the god of death, to claim his soul. But Sisyphus, ever shrewd, was ready. With a calculated charm, he invited Thanatos into his palace, feigning submission. He convinced Thanatos to demonstrate the chains meant for his soul, tricking the god of death into shackling himself instead. With Thanatos bound, the natural order faltered. People stopped dying. Battles waged without fatalities, and the mortal realm was thrown into chaos. Even the gods grew uneasy, watching as mortals avoided their inevitable fates. Zeus, Furious that a single mortal could disrupt the fabric of life and death itself, summoned Ares, the god of war, to free Thanatos and restore balance. But the damage had been done. Sisyphus's defiance had escalated beyond mere arrogance. It had become a direct challenge to the god's authority over life and death. This trickery, however, only fueled Zeus's resolve. The king of Olympus knew that Sisyphus's punishment would have to be severe, a lasting testament to what awaited any mortal who thought to play games with the gods. But Sisyphus was not yet finished. When Thanatos reclaimed his freedom, he finally seized Sisyphus's soul and took him to the underworld. Yet even there, Sisyphus's cunning was undiminished. He convinced Persephone, queen of the underworld, that his journey to death had been a mistake, that he had not had the chance to properly say goodbye to his wife or prepare his affairs. Playing upon her sympathy, Sisyphus persuaded Persephone to let him return to the world of the living, on the condition that he would return willingly after setting things in order. Sisyphus, of course, had no intention of returning. Once back among the living, he resumed his life with a smug satisfaction, believing he had outwitted both death and the gods. He walked freely under the sun, living as though he were untouchable, a mortal who had conquered death itself. His hubris knew no bounds, and his defiance was a taunt aimed at the gods. But the freedom he enjoyed was short-lived, for Zeus had not forgotten his insolence. Zeus, having witnessed enough of Sisyphus's tricks, called for him to be taken once more to the underworld. This time, there would be no reprieve. The king of gods was determined to make Sisyphus an example to mortals, showing them that the boundaries between life and death were not to be crossed. His punishment would be as clever as the man himself, yet far more relentless. Sisyphus was sentenced to an eternity of labor. In the depths of the underworld, he was condemned to push a massive boulder up a steep hill. Every time he neared the summit, the boulder would slip from his grasp, rolling back down to the base of the hill. Exhausted yet bound by his punishment, Sisyphus would descend once more, beginning his task again, knowing he would never succeed. It was a torment designed to break him, a punishment crafted for a mind as sharp as his own, a task that mocked his cleverness and condemned him to perpetual frustration. In this endless cycle, Sisyphus became a symbol of futile ambition, his punishment echoing through the mortal world as a cautionary tale of hubris and defiance. For Zeus, the sentence was fitting, a reminder to mortals that while they might possess cleverness, they could not outwit the gods themselves. In the mortal realm, the story of Sisyphus spread, a tale of a man whose cunning could not save him from the consequences of his actions. Mortals viewed Sisyphus with both admiration and caution, seeing in him the allure and danger of hubris. To some, he was a tragic hero who had dared to defy fate, while to others, he was a cautionary example of what happened to those who thought themselves above the divine order. Zeus's punishment of Sisyphus served as a reminder that ambition, when unchecked by respect for the gods, led to ruin. Yet in his defiance, Sisyphus achieved a kind of immortality, his story inspiring both fear and fascination. The tale of his punishment became a symbol of resilience, an eternal struggle that mirrored the hardships faced by mortals, a reminder that there were some struggles in life that could not be conquered by cleverness alone. Zeus's response to Sisyphus's rebellion was not only a lesson for Sisyphus, but for all mortals, illustrating the limits of human cunning and the inescapable reach of divine justice. For Zeus, the punishment of Sisyphus was more than retribution. It was a reminder of the delicate balance between mortals and gods. In watching Sisyphus's endless struggle, Zeus reflected on the power of mortal ambition and the consequences of unchecked defiance. He understood that while mortals had their own agency and wit, there were boundaries that, if crossed, would bring them face to face with the wrath of Olympus. The story of Sisyphus's punishment resonated throughout Olympus, a tale that reaffirmed Zeus's authority and reminded the gods that their role was not merely to rule, but to maintain order. In enforcing these boundaries, Zeus ensured that the natural order would prevail, that no mortal, no matter how cunning, could evade the laws that bound both humans and gods alike. Despite his punishment, Sisyphus's spirit lived on in the minds of mortals. His story, one of both audacity and suffering, became a symbol of human resilience, a paradoxical mix of tragedy and triumph. To mortals, he represented both the limits and the possibilities of human ambition. They saw in him a reminder of their own daily struggles, the effort required to pursue dreams that seemed just out of reach. For Zeus, the story of Sisyphus was a success in maintaining divine order. By enforcing consequences that resonated with both mortals and gods, he reinforced the idea that every being, mortal and immortal, must abide by the boundaries set forth by Olympus. And while Sisyphus remained trapped in his eternal punishment, his tale served as a lasting testament to the strength and fragility of the human spirit. But Sisyphus was not the only one to test Zeus's might. Join us in the next episode as we witness the rise of the giants in a full-scale rebellion against Olympus. Discover how these monstrous beings, born of Gaia herself, rose up in a challenge that would shake Olympus to its core and put Zeus's power to the ultimate test. Until we meet again, may your path be filled with peace, strength, and a touch of magic. I'm young Homer, and I look forward to our next story together.